Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Toastmaster Edenan, and I will be your Sergeant at Arms for today. I would like to welcome all the Toastmasters and guests for today's meeting. A few things to keep in mind. Please keep your phones on silent and keep your mics turned off so that you do not distract the speakers. But we encourage you to keep your videos on so that your smiling faces can provide encouragement to our speakers. Secondly, we do not talk about sex, religion, or politics during this meeting. I would like to start off by reading the mission statement of Toastmasters Club, which is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in great self-confidence and personal growth. I hope you will have a wonderful session. Now, let's get right into it. I would like to welcome President of Vasco Toastmasters, Toastmaster Anthony Gomes. But hold on. Officer, I think you got the wrong guy, the wrong criminal. I know he's dressed like one today, but he's a good guy. He attends all our meetings and he is the best president I've ever met. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Anthony Gomes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Eden. I think with that introduction, anything I say will fall flat. Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, welcome to the third meeting of Vasco Toastmasters Club. The way we are progressing and the way you as guests are with us, I think it's a wonderful feeling. Since the time we had started, we are growing, we are progressing. And it is with your assistance and your positivity that this club will go a long way. In fact, today we have been connected with some of the guests who are from the Toastmaster fraternity, from the other clubs, but also non-Toastmasters. So I would like to quickly maybe hear a quick round of introduction, maybe with the name and how did you know about today's meeting from our guests. I would start with our guest, Keith Saldana. Keith, if you could just unmute yourself and quickly introduce, and maybe in a line or two. Keith? I see there's maybe some issue there, but okay, we'll ask guest Varish. Varish, if you could just introduce yourself, you could unmute yourself and introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Varish Fernandez, and I live in Vasco. I've done my master's in business administration in the sales and marketing, and I came across Toastmasters Club in 2018, where because of my speech impediment, it's called stuttering. I have some stammering issues. So someone told me about this club, which gives you the opportunities to communicate and speak your speeches, structured speeches or something like that in front of so many people. So that was like a platform for me just to go and explore this club and get myself into this club so that I can overcome this hurdle. So I was very much confident and to come to this club and see and explore.
Right. Thank you, Varish. It's nice to have you with us again. Can we have another guest, maybe a non-Toastmaster? I would also request all the participants to add guest in front of your name so it's easy to identify. If you're a guest Toastmaster, do that as well. Can we have a guest who's not a Toastmaster? Or even if you're not a Toastmaster, but already Toastmaster at heart, I mean, wonderful. Okay. The other Toastmasters who are guest Toastmasters, I welcome you. Toastmaster Akshay, Toastmaster
Siddesh
Alvina.
has raised his hand, I think.
Oh, yes. Thank you for helping me, Meenal. Yeah, Siddesh?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Siddesh Prabhudesai. I stay in Maapsa. Okay, so basically, I came across this Toastmaster through one of my contacts where I'm working. So it was just an interaction like there is a platform to improve or polish your skills in communication, leadership, overall development, and that's how I get in contact with I think Clade, and he sent me this meeting of first my first meeting basically.
Great. Great.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sidesh. I hope you have fun. All the other Toastmaster guests who are with us, Toastmaster Pratibha, Toastmaster Snigdha, Toastmaster Vikti, Toastmaster Alvina, Toastmaster Akshay, and the others who I cannot see on my screen, welcome to you all. And I hope you have a wonderful evening as well. We will speak with you towards the end of the meeting. At the moment, I hope you enjoy the meeting. And now to take the meeting ahead, we have with us the Toastmaster of the day. Now, this Toastmaster of the day has told us to call the cops. Now, I don't know what's running in his mind. Looking at the way he goes about with things, I would rather say, don't call the cops. Let us see what he has in store for us. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and guests, put your hands together for the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abrar Sayed.
Hello everyone, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Yesterday, I was driving from Verna to Vasco. I was overspeeding. I was stopped by cops and they asked me, why are you overspeeding? I said, I am just catching up with the traffic. And the officer goes like, I can't see no traffic. And I'm like, exactly, that's why I'm catching up with the traffic. Now the officer is furious. He goes again, papers. I said scissors, and I just leave from there. After that, they've been chasing me. So, jokes apart, we've all got different experiences with the cops. Some are good, some are bad, some are funny, some are unfunny like mine. So, let me tell you something. Nobody is above the law. Not the priest, not the principal, not the police, not even the lawmakers. In any society, cops play an important role in maintaining the law and order, and that helps in functioning of the society. Similarly, in this meeting, I have been appointed by Vasco Toastmasters Club to ensure that this Toastmasters meeting goes on smoothly. For the benefit of our guests, I will explain the structure of the meeting. Any Toastmasters meeting is usually divided into three parts. The first part is the prepared speech section, where the members will be delivering prepared speeches based on the projects or paths that they have chosen. The second is an educational round. This is something what we have added today. And in this round, we usually have a Toastmaster who will be educating us on any of the topics which the club members have suggested. The third section is the table topics round. This is also called as impromptu speaking. Here, even the guests can join us. Everybody can practice their impromptu speaking. The fourth and the final part, which is one of the most important parts of Toastmasters journey, that's the evaluation round. Here, the entire session and all the role players will be evaluated based on their performance, and a constructive feedback will be given. This helps in improving the journey of the Toastmasters. General evaluator, guests, and fellow Toastmasters. There is a typographical error which I would like to highlight in the agenda. The education session will finish at 7:55. Also, there is a slight change in table topics evaluator's role. It will be played by Toastmaster Leroy. Okay, so to help me with smooth functioning of the meeting, I have appointed three officers. They are my speech officers who will keep an eye on the crimes committed during the delivery in different capacities. Our first speech officer is someone who will deal with crime related to time. He is the timer for the meeting. If ever Toastmaster Clifford is caught committing a crime, it will be stealing for Sunil Chetri's football kit. He told me he loves sports and teaching. Please help me welcome first speech officer, the timer. Over to you, Toastmaster Clifford.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Abrar. 51% of the vehicular traffic or vehicular accidents are caused due to jumping traffic lights. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Clifford DeCosta, the timer for today, and I will be making sure that you have a smooth timing during this meeting. And to do that, I'll be using 3 colored objects: a green mask, a red cover of a container, and a yellow keychain. So my job is to ensure that you do not jump into another speaker's time. So today we'll be having 2 prepared speeches, the time for which is 5 to 7 minutes. So when the speaker reaches 5 minutes, I'll be flashing the green mask. At 6 minutes, the yellow keychain. And at 7 minutes, the red cover. For the table topics session, to qualify, you need to speak for at least 1 minute and not more than 2 minutes. So at 1 minute, I will flash the green mask. At 1 minute 30 seconds, the yellow keychain, and at 2 minutes, the red cover. For the educational session, the time is 10 to 15 minutes. So at 13 minutes, I will flash the green mask. At 14 minutes, the yellow keychain, and at 15 minutes, the red cover. For all the speakers, once I flash the red cover, you will get a grace period of 30 seconds. Beyond which, if you speak beyond that time, beyond 30 seconds, the grace time, you will not qualify for the evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Abrar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Clifford. Second speech officer is someone who will deal with crimes related to filler words. He is the R counter of the meeting. Toastmaster Aldido is a student whose goal is to be a confident speaker and a leader. Please help me welcome the second speech officer, the R counter, Toastmaster Aldido. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Mr. Abrar Syed. Hello, Toastmasters, friends, guests. My role as an R counter is to unnecessary words or repetitive words you use when you are speaking on this stage. For example, you know, I mean will be counted. These words are called filler words, and which are going to affect the effectiveness of your speech while delivering it. At the end of the meeting, I shall give you my report. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Abrar.
Thank you, Aldido. Our third speech officer is someone who will deal with crimes related to grammar. He is the grammarian of the meeting. Toastmaster Vishal is a foodie and he loves his family. If I asked him if ever you would be caught by police for committing any crime, he said that it would be for stealing his friend's girlfriend. I do not know why. Anyways, put your hands together for our third speech officer, the grammarian.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abrar. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Grammar is the backbone. You can't communicate properly and it can't be understood. My role as a grammarian for today's meeting, I note the proper and improper usage of grammar, that is proper words, phrases, and their usage in a proper sentence. The word of the day is electric, which is a noun. meaning a person who derives ideas, style, or taste from a broad and diverse range of sources. It can be adjective as well, deriving ideas, style, or taste from a broad and diverse range of sources. An example of this can be Toastmaster Anthony has an eclectic choice when it comes to picking up books. I don't know if it's books or something else, but still, it's his choice at the end of the day. And another example of this would be Eden Ann was interested in gaining prowess in an eclectic mix of subjects. At the end of the meeting, when called upon by the general evaluator, I'll be presenting my report. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Brad.
Thank you, grammarian, Toastmaster Vishal. So let's begin with the first round, the prepared speech round. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Siona Fernandez, our very own division director. She's worn multiple hats in her 5 years of her Toastmasters journey, from being the president to the area director. If ever you see cops and Siona together, know that the cops are at fault. Okay. Welcome, Toastmaster Siona Fernandez. Before Toastmaster Siona takes the stage, may I request Toastmaster, her evaluator, Toastmaster Meenal Bale, to read her objectives of a project.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abrar. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. My speaker, Toastmaster Siona, is on the Pathways of Motivational Strategies, Level 1, Project 3. I wish you all the best, Siona. Your time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you,
Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenal. Toastmaster Siona Fernandez, money or memories? Money or memories? Toastmaster Siona Fernandez. All the best, Siona.
Am I audible? Visible?
Yes, you are. Yes.
Yes.
Vishal?
Siona, can I share the screen?
Yes, please.
Siona, you may want to also keep an eye on the timer.
Yes.
Besides the objects, the colored objects, I will also be giving I'll be giving a knock probably. A single knock when you reach 5 minutes.
Yes.
A double knock when you reach 6 minutes. And then 3 knocks when you reach 7 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster. The timer? Vishal, can you put it on presentation mode? Yes. May I start?
Yes.
Okay. When I was a little girl, I remember waiting for that moment or that time of the year when my cousins would visit us, and I would feel very sad when they would return back to Portugal, and then live with memories until they came back. When I would see the foreigners passing by from the airport to Majorda Beach Resort, my little mind would wonder, they must be having a lot of money. When will I be able to go on a vacation like this? Fellow Toastmasters and guests, this question still remained unanswered until I started working. Then another thought troubled my mind. If money is important, then why my colleagues who were earning a hefty package did not take any vacation at all for years together? Then I came across, I got my answer on Expedia, a group where the world's leading full-service online travel band. As per the 2018 vacation deprivation report released by Expedia, Indians feel that they are the most vacation deprived people in the world, as they do not even take vacation off days. An annual survey of vacation habits, according to 19 countries, highlighted that 75% of Indians feel vacation deprived, which is the highest in the world, followed by South Korea at 72% and Hong Kong at 69%. Vishal, you can go to the next one. Indian workers also do not take vacations, and they rank 5 in terms of markets that leave their vacations unused after Japan, Italy, Australia, and New Zealand. I tried to interview some of my colleagues, and their answers resonated with the words of the marketing head, Brand Expedia in India, Mr. Manmit Aluwalia. He says, employees still do not avail their full vacation because of reasons like, we shall go to the next. Next. Okay. The reasons being missing out on important work decisions, fear of being less seen or less committed, or finding it difficult to coordinate time with their travel companion. Their study also reflects that 18% of Indians feel that those who are successful at their job don't take vacation days off. I am glad that you do not fall in this above category. Thanks for your time to take the survey. It revealed that 70% of you are in sync with me. You would prefer to go on a self-planned holiday with family to explore countries now and not after making money. Being happily married for 23 years, having an ideal family, I managed to have many tick marks in my bucket list. I was constantly reminded of one that I could not ignore at all, celebrating Silver Jubilee on a tour to Europe. 2 years before I started my research, between packages that were available and Expedia was my guide after comparing many other travel agents. After having ticked, next slide please. After having ticked the mark from red, yellow, and green, unlike the timer cards, we set out on the first self-planned tour of 3 weeks and created beautiful memories. I invite you to take a virtual tour to Europe. Remember, please don't complain. You have not paid for it, okay? But I'm sure you will enjoy this journey. Italy, a land of pizzas, pastas, and gelatos. You can relish as per your taste buds. Next. Next, please. Yes. We also covered the Vatican City, St. Peter's Square, the museum, the Sistine Chapel is heavenly. And it was the Spanish Steps. Don't you think we are in Panjim, near the Panjim Square? These are 137 steps. And hold on, I want you all to put in your chat box any number from 1 to 3. Done? When you go to Rome, don't miss on the Trevi Fountain. All you need is a few coins, okay? Now, if you throw 1 coin, they say you will return to Rome. If you throw 2 coins, you will fall in love with an attractive Italian. And if you throw 3 coins, you will marry the person that you met. Now you all know where you stand. It was worth the while to wait for 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon to have the glimpse of the Pope as he appeared at the window to pray the Angelus and receive his blessings. Then we headed off to Venice. Venice, we walked around the entire place and visited the St. Mark's Basilica. We enjoyed the gondola ride. And then we headed to France. a land of cheese. Do you know that they do not tie a French plait? They don't even know about it. But what I noticed that they don't even have a French beard. But what you can do is relish a lot of French fries. Amidst the thousands of pilgrims, you can take part in the candlelight procession at a place of apparition of Our Lady of Lourdes. With unheaded, oh, you can be a daredevil as well and eat a live oyster. Then the day of the silver wedding arrived. We started the day with the Holy Eucharist celebrated by the priest friend of ours in Paris. The best gift I can say we will cherish is the gift of lunch cruise by our children. Ironically, all that we covered by foot, those days, the days before, was covered during the cruise, like the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, Lady Diana torch, Statue of Liberty. And guess what? We even celebrated a feast in Paris, and I bumped into a school friend and a college classmate as well. As I secretly promised myself, we finally landed up in Portugal to be with my cousins and my uncle and aunt and savor the delicacies of Portugal like any Goan dishes, but with less spice, of course. Another place of apparition we visited was the Fatima at Portugal. And for all the football lovers, we visited the Benfica Stadium and had a relaxing day at the Oceanário de Portugal. Then the last stop was in Spain. We relished the Spanish delicacies, the Spanish omelette and pistos and churros. And we were so tired at the end of the trip that we decided to take hop in and hop out tour to cover the entire historical and modern Madrid. Friends, you can always make money. You can't always make memories. Detach yourself and enjoy every moment. Don't delay making memories because you never know what future holds. It's always better to look back in life and say, I can't believe I did it, than to say, I wish I did it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sienna. Thanks for taking us on a virtual tour. We now maintain a minute of silence for the evaluator to make a notes. In meantime, I would request all the guests and participants to please provide your feedback to Toastmaster Sienna Fernandez on a private chat. Timer, please inform us when a minute is up.
Yeah. Yes, a minute is up.
Thank you, Clifford. Let's move on to our second speaker. He is a club president, Toastmaster Anthony Gomes. He is well known not just for his proficiency in English, but also French. I believe if ever he was caught for committing a crime, it will either be for stealing books or impressing everyone with his français. That's how he said it. Français. Welcome, Toastmaster Anthony Gomes. before Toastmaster Anthony takes the stage, may I request evaluator Toastmaster Clyde to please read his objectives of his project?
Thank you, Toastmaster Abrar. Toastmaster Anthony is on his project, Research and Presenting. The purpose of this project is for a member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. The timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Anthony.
Thank you, Clyde.
Thank you, Toastmaster Clyde. Toastmaster Anthony Gomes, Tuborg or whiskey? Tuborg or whiskey? Toastmaster Anthony Gomes.
Before I start, I would just like to confirm if you can hear me and see me. That's fine?
Yes.
Just another request, if at all there is any glitch, I would request the participants to put your videos off so that we can save the bandwidth and there is clarity. Okay, I will just pin the timer as well. Yeah, that's good. And there we go. Now, as we grow up, there are a couple of situations that we encounter. There are different people that we meet, and there are different situations that mold us with its experiences into a different personality. Our thoughts are molded, our vision is altered, and eventually we have our preferences. And sometimes when you have multiple preferences and you have to pick on one, it gets really difficult. After growing up, or as I was growing up, I had to make a difficult choice between two things that I really like. And that was Tuborg or whiskey. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Now, before you take out your drink menu cards, I would like to highlight that when I say Tuborg and whiskey, I'm talking about my two pets. Tuborg is my dog and whiskey is the cat. Now, these two pets make me a proud owner of these cute little, I really do not know what to say because I'm at loss of words when I speak about my pets. I'm sure there are many in this room who also like pets. There may be some who do not as well, but never mind. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to ask you to make a choice of choosing between a cat or a dog. Tell me if you are a dog lover or a cat lover. And to do that, I'm going to launch a poll. You have 5 seconds to answer that. Go ahead. Please click on the poll. I know it's a hard choice sometimes, but you see, as adults, we have to make hard choices. And yes. Great. Okay, I'm ending the poll now. If you see, around 80% of you have said that you are a dog person. And you know what? Add my vote there as well. Because if I had to make a choice, that would be for dogs. I am a proud owner of a dog, and my love for dogs knows no boundaries. In fact, I was so happy when I read in one of the articles that when you post or when you are with a dog, it makes the other person feel that you are approachable, that you are positive, and that you are a little, how do I say this, attractive. Oh, I'm sorry, not this one. I meant attractive, right? So that's what the dogs do. That's the power of having a pet with you. Now, this is something that even the celebrities have said, that, hey, every time we post pictures with dogs, we get the number of likes that we generally get is, it increases. In fact, how would you understand that my classmate Deepak from school, he has around 243 Instagram followers, 2 of which are his own fake accounts. But his pet account or the dog account for his dog has around 632. And trust me, he has a lot of followers from the pet account who slide into his DM. So don't you think it is the positivity and the fact that that the dogs make you a little approachable and a little positively attractive. There's another research which was conducted by University of Pennsylvania, which said that if you pet a dog which is known to you, or even a familiar dog rather, it relaxes your muscles, it makes you feel positive, and it lowers your blood pressure and your heart rate. But there is something I need to tell you here. When I was in high school, there's something opposite that happened to me. Every time I used to pet a dog, my heart used to race. It used to go faster. But then I realized I had Claire by my side. Now, Claire was my high school love interest. I realized that every time I petted the dog, Claire would hold me by my arm. And I think that was something that used to make my heart race. But you see, till date, I don't understand whether it is really the fear that she had, the fear that Claire had, or was it the simple fact that with the dog around, I was just appearing very attractive. Fellow Toastmasters, in this room, we have also had 20% of people who have voted as being the cat lovers. Now, as cat lovers, there is some good news for you as well. A university, Carroll University in USA had conducted an intelligence test between the cat lovers and the dog lovers, wherein cat lovers scored higher on the intelligence test than the dog lovers. So you see, you get, I'm sorry, that's C-A-T. I know my spellings. I went to school. That has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a dog owner. Okay? I do understand cat owners are smart. In fact, they're also creative. You know, I was reading somewhere that if you watch a lot of cat videos on YouTube or on internet, you become very creative. I mean, sure, of course, I would believe that. Can you imagine the type of names that the cat lovers give to their cats? Miku, Snowball, and Fluffy. And then I name my dog Tubog. But if you think that's a lack of creativity, haven't you heard of people naming their dogs tigers? I mean, that's like, if that's the level of creativity that you're looking at, then I might as well name my dog a dog. Hey, wait, I can't do that. My mom calls me that. And I think there'd be a lot of confusion if we have two people with the same name in the same house. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a wonderful feeling to have both these pets in the house. Because after having a very difficult day, you come home. There's a lot of bickering at workplace. There's a lot of tension. But when you see these two wonderful creatures all around you, and it's a different feeling. Definitely, when they do it, it's called being carefree. And when I do it, it's being called carelessness. But nevertheless, it's a wonderful feeling that when they are around you, it's a beautiful thing when you hear them going, "Wow, wow," or meow. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anthony. Although I'm a dog person, or I can call myself a cat person as well. I once told my mom I'm getting a pet, and she said, "You can have, I am already taking care of two animals, me and my brother. She can't have one more." So let's move ahead. We now maintain a minute of silence for the evaluator to make his notes. Likewise, everyone, please tell Anthony how cute his pets are and give him the feedback. Timer, please inform us when time is up. Timer, can we move ahead?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Timer, can you tell us what are have both the speakers been qualified for voting?
Only Toastmaster Anthony has qualified. Siona spoke for 9 minutes 40 seconds, and Toastmaster Anthony spoke for 7 minutes 10 seconds.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Timer. Anthony, congratulations. We won't be having the voting. Okay, let's move on to our next section, the educational section. Toastmaster Victoria Lobo, she's been a Toastmaster for 5 years and a speaker. She is currently serving as the Vice President for MAPSA Toastmasters Club. She said she could be behind the bars for painting eyeliner so sharp that it would cut someone. Anyways, please welcome Toastmaster Victoria.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. So as the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abrar said, I've been a Toastmaster for 5 years. And what that means for me is I have given a lot of speeches. Now, for any of you, and I know there were a few of you who were there when I started my Toastmasters journey, y'all would know that my speeches were not so great at the beginning. I had to learn how to give good speeches. So I'm going to talk only about the structuring of a speech today. How do you write? How do you craft a speech? Typically, these sessions would happen in 3 or 4 parts. We would go structure of the speech, delivering of the speech, body language, vocal variety. But we're not going to look at any of that. We're only going to look at the structuring of a speech. Now, before I actually start, I want to give you an idea of what a basic speech looks like. If any of you have done your icebreaker, then you'll have seen what it looks like for pathways. That is your perfect bone structure for any speech. A good, strong opening, body, conclusion, transitions in the middle, right? But when we look at a Toastmaster speech, we have our own little tips and tricks that we use to make our speeches better. That's why people join Toastmasters. Otherwise, you just go on a website, learn how to write a speech, and move on. So let's look at the opening of a speech, right? Now, for the purposes of this session, I will be referencing one of my own speeches. Some of you may have heard it, some of you may not have. That's okay, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go through each bit. So this speech that I gave, it was about wearing a mask. Okay, it was about the whole concept of creating a facade for yourself and hiding behind it. And at what point do you take the mask off, and at what point do you put it on? Now, when I started the speech, I had to come up with a good opening. And my opening, whether or not people got it, was maybe she's born with it, or maybe it's Maybelline. Now, for those of you who don't know, that is the tagline for the Maybelline makeup company. And at least within Toastmaster circles, I am relatively well known for all of this stuff. So that was a good opener for me to give. It might not be such a good opener for maybe Toastmaster Anthony to give. I don't know. I've never seen him wear makeup. If he does, A+ to you, sir. So maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. And I think everyone expected me to give a speech about makeup, which is why I immediately started to give a speech about makeup. My first story in the speech was about how long it had taken me to put on my makeup that morning. And I just kind of had a little moment by myself where I talked about what a pain it is to get your eyeliner to look like this and to choose the right lipstick. And it was, you know. And then I asked the audience whether I had wasted my time that morning. Because they would have listened to me speak even if I didn't have makeup. It was on the agenda. They don't have a choice. Here's the thing when you look at a Toastmaster speech, right? We always say 3 stories, and there's a reason for this. We always say break your speech up into 3 sections, never more, ideally never less. Why? Because 3 is pretty much the magic number when it comes to people paying attention. If you have more than that, people are going to forget what you said at the beginning. And if you have less than that, you might not have enough to get your point across. Does that mean that these 3 stories all have to be similar? Absolutely not. Because my second story for the speech was about a friend of mine, and we're going to call her Nikita, just because. And it was about this friend of mine, Nikita, who had a very troubled home life, and she was quite a depressed person. But when she would come to college, she was bright and happy and cheerful, and she sang a lot and she made a lot of jokes. And it wasn't until I had been her friend for a year that I realized she was quite a sad person. And I asked the audience, did she waste her time putting on that mask every morning before she came to college? And my third story was about how I joined Toastmasters, and how even though I'm quite a vivacious person and I don't seem to get very nervous, whenever I speak, even now, my hand shakes. Because I have absolutely horrifying stage fright. And I talk about how when I come to other clubs, or when I go to other countries, or when I have to perform in my college, I'm so nervous. But I keep myself as stoic as possible and as happy as possible. But when I'm at MAPSA, when I'm in my own club, I don't worry so much about shaking hands or filler words or stuttering. And again, I ask the audience, do I waste my time when I go to other clubs and do my breathing exercises and meditate to make sure? Now, these 3 stories have really nothing to do with each other, if you think about it. It's a story about makeup, a story about a depressed person, and a story about stage fright. But this is a quintessential example of a Toastmaster speech. This is how we build an interesting speech. This is how we build an interesting body of a speech. No one wants to hear the same thing over and over and over again. Your job as the speech crafter, and it is a craft, is to take these 3 elements and weave them together so that at the end of the day, people listen to your speech and they're like, yeah, that made sense. I can see how stage fright has to do with makeup. You see what I mean? Now, when you end a speech, right, your ending, it's the most important part of a speech, right? It's the thing that everyone remembers at the very end, but it's also your reason for giving the speech. If it's a humorous speech, your ending might be your punchline. If it's an inspirational speech, it might be a call to action, it might be a quote, but that's the thing that people are going to keep in their heads. When I gave my speech, my ending, although I cannot remember it exactly, was to the point of find the people. Take your time to make your mask, and then find the people around whom you can take it off. And don't feel guilty for putting on makeup in the morning. That was my ending. Now, these are your elements of a speech. How do you start writing a speech? It's all well and good for me to sit here after I've given the speech a year ago and be like, it was so easy to do. It was not easy to do. I was under a lot of pressure and I had to sit and write it. So when you have to sit down and write a speech, and as Toastmasters, you should be doing this constantly. If you have a free moment, you should be writing a speech. How do you start writing a speech? You start by writing your ending. You should never, ever, ever, it's a mistake that a lot of us make when we first join Toastmasters. We come up with a great opening, we have our stories, and then we try and end it nicely. No. You should write your ending first. Why? Because your ending is your message. Your ending is where you're going. It is the purpose of your speech. And if you don't have the purpose of your speech clear in your mind, how are you writing the speech? To that point, side by side with that, the other thing you have to write immediately is your title. VPEds know that the biggest pain when creating an agenda is it's 10 minutes before the meeting and your speakers haven't come up with a title. And I'm here to tell you that if you are writing a speech, you should know your title first. Why? Because, you know, they say you should never judge a book by its cover, right? But the fact remains, books have covers and they are very important. When we look at a book, we might misjudge it and we might have to read it to understand it. But you look at a book and it's embellished and it's made pretty because people look at the book cover first. It's the part which gives you an idea, what is this book about? What is your speech about? And if you don't have a title, you don't know where your speech is going. When I initially wrote that speech, I already had the idea I wanted to write it about putting on masks. And at the time, the name of the speech was just masks on or putting on a mask or something like that. You can always refine the title. That doesn't have to be your final thing, but you need to know what it is. If you type your speech in a document, what are you saving this document as? You think about it like that. It shouldn't be, level 1 or what are you saving it as? When I finally got around to giving the speech, I did change the title and I changed it to Making Up because I thought that was funny because I was talking about makeup and you're making up a mask, etc., etc. But it remains that I had a title in mind. I had a title idea in mind. I changed that, but that's not the point. The title and the ending, these are the two things. Because if you think about it, the opening of your speech is not the first thing that people hear. It's the title. When the TMOD calls out your name, they say the title. And when they say the title, people will immediately decide, are they going to listen to the speech or not? I like titles that are enigmatic. People don't know what you're going to talk about, so then they have to listen. Beginning and ending. Don't make the mistake of thinking that your opening statement is your beginning. It's not, it's your title. Your title and your final message are the two things that convey to the audience what it is you are about to talk about. They are very, very important. Once you have your ending, you can decide how your stories go. If I were to take that same speech, okay, let's say I change the message of my speech to, you should never wear a mask. Let people see who you are. I could use those same 3 stories, but just put them in a different order. I could start with stage fright, then talk about my friend Nikita, and then talk about putting on makeup, or talk about Nikita last, because I talk about how much happier she was once she was able to be sad in front of me. And immediately the message of your speech changes. So you need to know right at the beginning, what is it that you are trying to tell people? Even if it's a humorous speech, don't make the mistake of thinking that there is no message to this. The message might not be something inspirational. You have a punchline, there is a joke. There is something that you want the audience to do at the end of your speech. Do you want them to think? Do you want them to cry? Do you want them to laugh? The only thing you know for a fact is that you don't want your audience to forget. That is the only thing that you know. So, come up with, for Toastmasters who were here before, we had the general and specific objective, right? What is your general objective? What do you want your audience to feel? And then what is your specific objective? What do you want your audience to remember? Ending, title. Now you have your 3 stories. The next part that's very important is the transition. If I were to just talk about, I put on makeup in the morning, I have this friend, she's kind of depressed, and I get stage fright. What am I even talking about? Some of you might pay attention to little bits of it. Some of you would probably just leave. This was an OTP, no one was allowed to leave. The doors were locked. So I could have done whatever I wanted, but I didn't. transitions are very important for your speech. You have these 3 stories, especially if they're stories as different and as varied as these 3 were. So I talked about makeup, right? And like I said, I talked about why did I waste so much time putting on makeup in the morning? As you can see, it's been a few hours and my eyeliner is already dripping and my lips aren't pink anymore because I ate some food. Did I waste my time? Is it a waste of time to put on a mask? That was my transition into my friend Nikita, who puts on a mask every morning. And so I said, just like I wake up every morning before college and I put on my makeup, I spend time looking in the mirror, getting my eyeliner perfect. My friend Nikita looks in the mirror and promises herself that she is going to smile at every person she passes in the corridors. But Nikita does not feel like smiling. That smile is as unreal as my eyelashes, which are not nearly this long when I wake up in the morning. That's a transition. Then I talk about Nikita. You know, then she was happy around me and that was so great because now she's not sad. Is Nikita wasting her time? Should she have been honest with me from the beginning? When I joined Toastmasters, I had stage fright. And after a few speeches, I feel more confident. People talk about how I don't seem to have any nerves. You're so steady on the stage. But in reality, even before I came up here on at that time, my 4th year of Toastmasters, I had to meditate. I had to do deep breathing. Was it a waste? These are your transitions. Your transitions are so important because that is what makes your audience stop. You need your audience to stop. You need them to stop thinking about your first story and get ready for your next. I'm gonna end. Timer's shown me the red card. Keep in mind a couple of things, okay? Your title and your ending should be done before you even begin writing your speech. You need to know where the speech is going. You need to know what your audience is going to remember. Don't go more than 3 stories, and these 3 stories don't have to have anything to do with each other. Your job is to make sure that the audience understands what your thought process was through the entire speech. It is not that difficult to write a prize-winning speech. We have written several of them. You all will undoubtedly write several of them. Contest season is coming up. It's not that difficult. It doesn't take that much time. Delivering it is a whole other ball game. But if you can write a good speech, you have so much power in your hand. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Victoria. That was a good session. I would request everyone to please use the word of the day, eclectic. But I have another question. Does that mean I've already used the word of the day? Anyways, let's go ahead with the 3rd section, table topic session. This is one of the most fun part, and our guests will also, I would request all the guests to also join in. Our table topic master is a Toastmaster who is a counselor who says she gets paid for talking. She asks, and she's got a small request for everyone, and we are going to arrest everyone who thinks about pink zebra. She's asked you not to think about pink zebra. Let's welcome our table topic master, Toastmaster Shivani.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abrar. Am I audible? Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Shivani, table topic master of the day. before beginning, what if I told you all that I myself have not prepared any speech and this is all spontaneous for me? Why not, Because table topics is all about impromptu communication. It's about spontaneity. It's about challenging your reflex thinking skills. And it's the most exciting part of Toastmasters meeting. And the best part about it is even guests can take part. As a counselor as well, I'm constantly challenged for my spontaneity. How quickly and smoothly I can direct my clients with my impromptu question is my challenge. This is what we also learn in table topics. Table topics is about listening, speaking, thinking, and at the same time organizing your thoughts and putting them forth in a very smooth way. So I think this is very much relevant to the life we have. Even in life, there are hardly any rehearsed questions, right? Life is also about table topics. What do you all think? Is life about rehearsed questions or life is also about table topics?
About table topics.
So similarly, as cops have to be vigilant all the time to deal with the robbery or anyone breaking rules, similarly in table topics, we have to be vigilant and spontaneous with our words and with our message. So with this, I will just explain. You on how we are going about with the table topics. So in table topics, I will be giving the topics. You have to speak for a minimum of 1 minute, after which the green card will be shown. After one and a half minute, the yellow card will be shown, and after 2 minutes, the red card will be shown. You can speak maximum for 2.5 minutes. At the same time, don't forget to be eclectic and also use the word eclectic since it is the word of the day. Here are two techniques which I would like to share how we can go about with the table topics. Our first technique is using past, present, and future. So if any topic is provided, one way to start talking about it is talk about your past experience with it. Then move to your present experience or what you feel about that topic at this time. And then you can share what may happen with that or what you expect to happen with that in future. Second technique to go about with table topics is Oreo method. Am I not audible?
You're audible.
You're audible, but you're not visible, Shivani.
Not visible.
Sorry?
You're not visible.
Am I better audible now?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly, but we can't see you, Shivani.
We can't see you.
In case it's a bandwidth issue, that's okay. You can go ahead.
Okay, I hope I'm audible. I'll continue what I was saying. So second method how to go about with the table topics is the Oreo method. So Oreo is an acronym which stands for opinion, reason, evidence, and overall conclusion. So in Oreo technique, whenever the topic is given, first you start by talking about the opinion you have. Then you support your opinion by giving reasons. Then you support your reasons by giving evidence or the experiences which you have had with that opinion. And lastly, you conclude with an overall conclusion. So these are the two ways how you can go about with the table topics. I would request everyone and encourage the speakers to please use the word of the day, that is eclectic, and also please take care of the timer and the other two inspectors, that is our counter and grammarian. So with this, I think we will begin with the table topics. Who would like to volunteer first?
Hello. Am I audible? This is Akshay here from Goa YMCA Club. Am I audible to you? Hello?
Yes, Akshay, you're audible.
Yeah, okay. For the timer, please make sure you please have to make sound.
Yes.
So Mr. Clifford.
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay, thanks.
Shivani, you're not
Who would like to
audible.
go first? Anyone could
It's me. It's me.
volunteer.
Akshay. Akshay. This is Akshay here.
Toastmaster Akshay has volunteered.
I think Shivani might not be able to
Okay.
hear us. Can she hear us? Shivani, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Meenal, I can hear you.
Yeah. So Shivani, we
Toastmaster
have.
Akshay is going first.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah. Can you give the topic, Shivani?
Okay. So the first topic is for Akshay.
Hmm.
The topic is if not for lockdown.
What is that? Repeat again, please.
Yeah, the topic is if not for lockdown.
If not for lockdown. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Tell me. If what is that? Repeat again. If not for lockdown, no.
Yes.
Yes.
If not for a lockdown, I would have tried my level best to travel to my native place. I strongly agreed. Now, government has strictly warned that some people can travel from 21st of September onwards. Not only that, but also to participate in various functions such as wedding, other social gatherings, etc. I experienced myself sitting at home and attending various other meetings. Today's example is that I had a class. It was a eclectic experience for me to attend today's class of my MA. If not for lockdown, as I mentioned already, I would have traveled myself to native, not only native, but also to my college to receive some eclectic ideas from my friends. Not only my friends, but also from my teachers as well. What do you think, Master Shivani? Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay.
Time up, please. What's
Yes,
the time?
timer. I hope.
Timer's report will be given later, Akshay. Everybody's will be given together.
Thanks.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akshay. Moving on to the next topic. Who would be interested in speaking?
Hi, TTM. This is Nigda here.
Yeah. Hi, Snigdha. Your topic is being a rebel.
Okay. Being a rebel. Am I audible?
Yes.
You are.
Okay, being a rebel. Okay, I'll start. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and all guests. So the topic that has been given to me is being a rebel. Unfortunately, I should begin this speech with a disclaimer that I have been a very obedient student and a kid all my life, and I've never gotten a chance to act out or to act like a rebel because I've always followed all the rules that were laid, and I was a very, very disciplined student. I'm not, boasting or bragging about myself or blowing my own trumpet, but this is how I've always been because I studied in a convent and I never really got an opportunity to even bunk a class. And you will not believe me if I said that until today, I finished college 3 years back and I'm currently working in a company. And until date, I haven't bunked a single class. I have never been a rebel. However, I have been quite adamant and stubborn when it came to one matter. As I already told in the chat, I am a proud pet lover with 21 cats at home. And I had grandparents who were quite not very, they were allergic to cats and they didn't want to have so many pets inside the house. But I was so stubborn and adamant, and I was a rebel when I wanted to have so many cats at home because that made me feel happy. I'm very sorry, grammarian. I really do not know how to use the word of the day, eclectic, here. But I would like to end my table topic by saying this experience of visiting Vasco's Toastmasters Club has been quite delightful because I got to meet an eclectic mix of Toastmasters and guests from all over the country. Thank you, and over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Snigdha. I request the speakers to use the word of the day, which is eclectic. Any other volunteers for table topics?
I think we can have
Can I
one last.
take it up?
Can have one last table topic.
Yeah. Can I take it up if it's okay?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, Pratibha.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi,
Yes,
Pratibha. Your topic is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your topic is on the scale of happiness.
Okay. On the scale of happiness. Okay. Okay. Am I audible? Can I start?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, I can start.
Yes. Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Pratibha. I'm part of Ponda Toastmasters Club. So today's topic given for me is on the scale of happiness. Okay. If I have to talk about happiness in my own life, I would say I was not a very happy soul in the past. I would be complaining. I had a lot of complaints about life. I had a lot of worries about life. I have been through depression. I have been through trauma, everything. But over the course of time, when you attain a certain age, we get to know a lot of experiences in life that teaches us a lot of lessons for life. So if I have to rate on the scale of happiness of today's person I would rate definitely 9 on 10, which was not really the case in the past. Happiness is something within us. So it has to be developed, it has to be understood and nurtured every day in order to spread among, so that we can spread it among others. And yeah, over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Pratibha. I request the speakers to use the word of the day, which is eclectic, and also keep an eye on the timer. Anyone who would like to go next?
Toastmaster Shivani, I would like to have a go.
Hi, Keith. Thank you for volunteering.
Yeah.
Yeah, your topic is pushing your limits.
I think we all are blessed with certain gifts. We all have something in us. The question is, are you willing to find that something? It doesn't come easy. You got to push your limits. You got to work hard. Anything worth it does not come easy. You want something great, you got to go for it. You got to push your limits. At Toastmasters, that's what we do. We are all here to improve our leadership skills, improve our communication skills. And I'm proud to say that we all are pushing our limits. We are all striving to do better. And I think we all want to become a better version of ourselves. And that is something we should all be proud of. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Timer, do we have time for another topic?
We are running out of time actually.
Okay. Shivani, we can conclude.
Thank you, Keith. Timer, can we take one more?
Okay.
Shivani, Shivani, we are running out of time because we have gone beyond. I think there's some delay with the message reaching you, so I think we'll have to conclude here.
Okay. So can we take one more speaker, Timer, or?
No, there's no, Shivani, we cannot take another speaker this time.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for all. Thank you so much all the speakers who came in front to take up the topics. So I would like to conclude my part here by saying that even in our life, there are hardly any times where we have any rehearsed answers, or when we come up with any rehearsed questions as well. We have to be vigilant all the time, like how cops have to be vigilant, and we have to be spontaneous in everything we do. Thank you. I hand over the control to Toastmaster Abrar.
Thank you so much, Shivani. This is something what I love about Toastmasters. Although there were some bandwidth issues, she just went with the flow. That's exactly how you do table topics. That's lovely, Shivani. I think we all need to give her a big round of applause. If it would be me, I wouldn't have done it. I think I really adore this quality. Good job, Shivani. Anyways, let's conclude with table topics. How many of them were thinking about pink zebra? Okay, anyways, we'll leave it there. I think we can take a quick screenshot of this wonderful faces who had joined us. If you had seen pink zebra, I mean, you were thinking about pink zebra or no, it's another concern. Let's put our hands up, thumbs up. I hope you're enjoying, you're having fun.
Wow.
Wow.
Victory, good.
Anthony, are you taking pictures? Can we request everybody to switch on their cameras for a minute, please?
Yeah.
Sorry, I love pictures. I can't help it.
Yes. Smile. And I'm going to the next page. And again, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Let's move on to our last section, which is the evaluation session. I would request our Chief Officer of the day to tell us about our case. That's a meeting. Toastmaster Neeru is an administrator by profession and homemaker by choice. She is currently the president of ICG Toastmasters. We are pleased to have you. Please help me welcome our general evaluator, Toastmaster Neeru.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abrar. And I think you did a right thing by calling the cops, because I really require them right now to give my judgment of the day. So to explain my role as general evaluator, I will just compare myself to the judge for today. And after collecting all the facts and factuals by the cops and some spies I have put here and there, I will give my final judgment of the meeting. Now, as we all say, there are crimes. I call crimes as mistakes. Some of them are mistakes of laws, which are, of course, punishable by laws. Some of them are mistakes of facts and circumstances, which can be improved with improvement in facts and circumstances. So for today's meeting, we don't have any crimes as such. We have mistakes of facts. Because when we take up with different roles at the meetings, we tend to make a little bit mistakes here and there. Maybe because our facts are not clear, or maybe it is just the circumstances which have made us forcibly make those mistakes. So before giving my final version, I need to have the facts collected. I would like to call upon my first cop, who is Toastmaster Meenal, who basically was evaluating the speech by Toastmaster Siona. Now, Toastmaster Meenal, if you remember, I know you from the childhood, but I will not open any of your secrets from the childhood. Right now, the thing which you told me, she says she's notorious for wordplay. And she always gets into trouble because of keeping the things to the last minute. When she was younger, during exams, the studies till the last moment. And now, at a workplace, to keep her work pending till the last moment. But I know you are a charming person and eclectic in your work, so you must be getting rid of all the flaws. Over to you, Toastmaster Meenal, to evaluate Toastmaster Siona.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Am I audible to all?
Yes.
Okay. Timer, please let me know once the time is up. My dear speaker, Siona, your speech today was indeed eclectic. With the visuals that you used, you set a timeline, you gave us a story, you literally took us on a tour to your journey. Money or Memories, a title that had me hooked from the very word go. In fact, it has 2 M's and my name begins with M. So that was my connection and my reason to pay all the more attention. I would say it was great how you took us on the virtual tour with a tinge of humor. You also had visuals spread across the different slides, and you in fact used a certain form of engagement by asking questions to the audience, which is one of the very good forms of making sure that everybody has their attention on your speech. We could all hear the excitement in your voice every single time you mentioned a place that you loved visiting. However, the only flaw or the only glitch that I could very clearly see was the fact of the technical difficulties. And I realize it's also because of bandwidth issues, but for a kind of speech that you had today, that was one of the major aspects. And having not planned a backup, maybe that hindered a lot of your speech. In fact, your eye contact was lost, your gestures were lost. To a certain extent, since you were sitting and presenting the speech and your hands ended up being folded like this, which sometimes can be perceived as a close body language. But overall, the way the visuals transitioned, you caught up, and that was a very commendable job you did there, because for any speaker, it's very natural to kind of fidget or get nervous when such a glitch happens. But you went right through it and you took it right ahead. So overall, I would say a great attempt, and thank you for motivating us to invest our time in making memories rather than having to make a decision over money or memories. Because ever since I've watched Letters to Juliet, the land of wine and cheese also has been on my list. So thank you so much. Great job. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meenal. Before I give my final listing, I would like to appreciate the way you have followed the CRC method of evaluation. Thank you so much for that. My next cop in the room is Toastmaster Clyde. Now, Toastmaster Clyde, if you are hearing me clearly, you have already committed a crime. Because when I asked you to introduce yourself, you just gave me 3 letters. AD, some techie, and something, like just 3 words. Man, when a woman asks you for introduction, what are you supposed to say? Give your introduction. So you have committed the crime by making me feel old. But no, I don't want to share my introduction with this old lady. So over to you, and you will hear my thing later on.
Thank you, Toastmaster Neeru. In fact, I don't trust the cops. That's why I thought I'll just give you some brief information which you might or might not use against me. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. Anthony, your speech was different as compared to most of the speeches that we hear on an online medium. What I really loved about your overall speech was you used the technology as much as possible. Right from your virtual background, it's the first time that I've seen somebody use their virtual background to present something during a speech. So that is what I loved best. And you chose a topic that was completely relatable. Although it was research, you put in some facts with regard to dogs and cats, and even with your title, I don't think anybody would have guessed that you would name your dog or cat Tuborg and Whiskey. So right from the opening to the complete storyline that you put, it was very nicely structured. Even it left a hanging message toward the end. One strong message that I could pick from your speech is that the dogs do get you ladies. You just don't need the French accent, the seductive French accent. So good job on that. I really like the way you put it together. A few pointers that would in fact develop or improve the quality of the speech was if you used pauses effectively. So there were a few instances which I'd like to name. So you said, my mom calls me this with respect to the dog. So if you had paused a little longer, then the joke would develop within the audience's mind. So that was one place. And even another place with respect to carelessness. You told about people being careful and then carelessness. That was another place that you rushed a little too much. Even with the stories that you told, pausing would have made it more effective. And even while you were pointing, since you used the virtual background, you could look behind and say this dog and this one. With a little bit of practice, that makes it very smooth and streamlined. That is what I could suggest to you. Overall, the speech was excellent. The message was strong. Research was on point. You gave statistics to add value. I think you did a good research and it was well structured. So that was one thing. And another small little point was with eye contact. So might be you were trying to change the different slides. So your eyes were looking at the screen and we didn't feel the connect as such. When you tell a story, good eye contact does make a huge difference. So one thing with pauses and with the eye contact, your speech would have been a higher notch than it was today. Congratulations, and I look forward to your next speech. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Clyde. And because you have done your job so well, I think I can forgo with your crime of not introducing yourself. Now, the next role, the next cop, which I found extra in this meeting, which usually I don't see in general Toastmasters meeting, is really appreciative. That is Table Topic Evaluator. Table Topic Evaluator for today is Toastmaster Leroy. Now, I don't know why. He again has made me feel old. When I asked him for the introduction, he didn't have anything to say to me. You young guys, I really can't get this point across. Anyway, I will have to forgive this one also, because he has always been very helpful whenever I asked him for help as VP Education of my club. So Toastmaster Leroy, even before you start, I am forgiving you of your crime. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster G. Neeru, for that introduction, really dubious introduction. I was really looking or thinking about the person you were blaming or introducing in your introduction, but nevertheless, thank you for forgiving him. So to start off with my evaluation, first of all, a wonderful job by Toastmaster Shivani for giving such amazing and eclectic mix of table topics. You also gave the people who came up to take the table topics effective tools to tackle them. So my first speaker, Toastmaster Akshay, who's always enthusiastic and takes up the table topic role with great ardor in most of the meeting. You started off really well by sharing your personal story from your school and home, which many of us could relate. And I really loved your use of vocal variety. Even though we couldn't see you, but we could literally feel as you explained about that. And I also liked the way you used the word of the day twice. A small point of improvement that I feel that could be made if your topic, which was regarding the lockdown, if you could share, might be a learning or a takeaway for us, that would add a cherry to the cake. My second speaker, Toastmaster Snigdha, you started off really well by addressing everybody. You caught our attention with your disclaimer on how you have never been a rebel. And you literally vented out all your frustration of all these years. We could really feel you over there. I really like your use of humor, and I will really take back, and I guess most of us will take back, how we can use the word of the day twice in a nice and subtle way. A small point of improvement that you could do, you used your hand gestures well, but at times it got excessive when you explained about something being inside and inside. They both landed inside itself. So yes, if you can be a bit discreet about that. Nevertheless, I'm just giving improvement because I'm forced to do that. Our third speaker, Toastmaster Pratibha, you told us about your own life and spoke about trauma and depression, subjects that can get really touchy, and we could really feel you because you lowered your tone. That is something I really liked. You lowered your tone and volume when you spoke over there, and you could literally see the audience of the crowd who were really all ears then. And we could really, and it was a great job overall. A final speaker guest, Keith, where you started off on a really positive note. You spoke like a true motivational speaker, pumping us with gallons of motivational messages. And what I really liked about you, how you motivate or advertise Toastmasters more than even we Toastmasters advertise, like speaking about Toastmasters in its true sense and essence. Thank you for that. A small suggestion for you two would be, if you could, your topic was regarding pushing your limits. If you could share a personal anecdote or story where you pushed the limits, that would add a more a more punch to the particular topic. All in all, a great job by all the people who attempted the table topics. And thank you. Over to G. Neeru.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Leroy. And I can understand it takes a lot of listening power, which men usually don't have, to assess a table topic session. So many speakers all together. Kudos to you. Very well done. Now, as we are talking about crime, I myself have committed a crime today. And I have taken over few spies who were planted by actually the Toastmaster of the day. So I would like to collect some facts from them also, the cops by the TMOD. So my first cop, rather my spy and TMOD's cop, is Timer Toastmaster Clifford. May we have your report?
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Neeru. So all the table topic speakers have qualified. Toastmaster Akshay spoke for 1 minute 35 seconds. Snigdha spoke for 1 minute 43 seconds. Pratibha spoke for 1 minute 35 seconds. and Keith spoke for 1 minute, 8 seconds. Coming to the evaluators, all of them have qualified again. Toastmaster Meenal spoke for 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Clyde spoke for 3 minutes, 17 seconds. And Leroy spoke for 4 minutes. The meeting started on time, but we are running a bit late. I think we could probably work on that. Some of the speakers took a little extra time. So that is one thing we can work on in the next meeting. That's all from me, the timer. Over to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Neeru.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Clifford. And thank you for easing out my suggestion also that you have already accepted that you will work on it next time. Next spy is our counter for today, Toastmaster Alero. May we have your report for today?
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Neeru. Just report. Toastmaster Anthony used the word 7 times, 1 time.
Yes.
We have Abra 7 times and 1 time. We have Toastmaster who 8 hours and 1 We have hours, 1 and 1 We have Toastmaster Edenen who used 2 hours. We have the guests Mandis who used hours. We have Toastmaster Siddesh Desai 6. We have Toastmaster and 1 We have table topic speakers Toastmaster Akshay who used 2 who used 7 and 1 We have Pratibha who and she used 5 We have Leroy, Toastmaster Leroy, who used That's all for today. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alero, sorry. And the way you have covered all the hours and ums, it shows how attentive you are. And this is also an example of our Toastmasters, that how we develop our listening skills by taking up these minor roles. Great job. Now, as there were 2 cops who disappointed me by not giving me their introduction, there are 2 men in the room who are fighting to be my spy. So there is a confusion between the grammarian. It started with Toastmaster Vishal taking over, then it jumped on to Toastmaster Manish. So I really don't know who's going to give me the final report. So whosoever it is, Toastmaster Manish or Toastmaster Vishal, may we have your report, please?
Thank you, Toastmaster Neeru. It's Manish here.
Okay, thank you.
And normally the cops run behind the criminals. I think by giving the wrong word, the criminals will start running behind me. I'm sorry for that word. Okay, when it comes to usage of the word eclectic during the meeting, Abrar used it once, Shivani used it twice, Leroy once, Akshay once, Meenal once, Nigdi twice, Neeru twice. And what I liked during the course of the meeting, one is Miss Siona's statement, you can always make money but not memories. So is the case when she said that I can't believe I did that is a better way than to wish that I could do it. I was completely eclectic hearing Miss Victi's speech because the number of words that she brought into the speech was splendid. Facade, vivacious, stoic, stuttering, quintessential, embellished, enigmatic. I just can't go on. So I'm now stopping there, rather transiting into the next thing. Anthony used the word bickering, which generally is not done. So is the case with Ms. Shivani, who used spontaneity and impromptu. When it came to what is it? Snigna, she used the word bragging very well. And Miss Pratibha's usage of trauma and nurtured were different. And when it came to you, Miss Neeru, it was mistake of law and mistake of facts and circumstances. Actually, I was thinking on that a lot. I think I need to be. I need to do a little bit more introspection to understand it. Nevertheless, it was a good food for thought. And the usage of word fidget by Meenal, that also I need to check into what exactly it is. Otherwise, it was very good. I could not find any grammatical errors per se. Overall, when it came to the conduct, all of them spoke good, and best luck to you. Thank you. Over to TMOD.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manish, for that crisp coverage. Now it comes to my part. I have collected all the facts and factuals. Now comes my judgment for today's meeting. I will start from before the meeting. And I would like to use this opportunity to appreciate your club for always giving such nice theme and coverage so that that buzz of the meeting is there all around. And it, frankly speaking, it makes me interested and makes me attracted to attend the meeting. So keep it up. Now, starting of the meeting, we started on time. That's appreciable. And the guests were welcomed. One thing which I would like to appreciate is that the essay reading out the mission of Toastmasters, that always gives me a good feel. Now, for the president, I have a message for you. As you said in your opening, that with the support, club will go places. And I promise you, with this kind of eclectic people around, your coverage of the meeting, you are going to go places. So all the best for that. Guests were greeted very well. It's nice. One of the guests, if he's there in the group, in the room still, Vashish Fernandez, you pointed out about your stuttering problem. I assure you that being in the Toastmasters is going to help you a lot with that. So keep that in mind, join Toastmasters and improve on your speaking skills. Coming to the TMOD, Toastmaster Abrar, I appreciate your sense of humor because that makes us interested in the meeting, that what lies ahead. Very nicely, you've given your own example of being caught by the cops and then how you use the sense of humor there. It creates an interesting beginning to the meeting. You gave a very nice introduction to all the role players. The minor role players, you have all done your job very well. There are certain points which I would like to point out, but I will keep them towards the end. The speakers, Siona, you have really evoked that feeling in me that when do I get to pack my bags and go somewhere? Anthony, there is one thing I was really looking forward to because your title was to Bogor, like talking about drinks. And I was really wondering if I would be able to choose something and change from being a teetotaler to drink. Because I'm looking forward to attending your physical meeting. So whenever you have, just keep these two ready. Maybe I'll be able to decide what to choose from. Now, I didn't mean the bets, okay? Talking about the educational session by Toastmaster Victoria. It was an amazing session. Although I have been with Toastmasters for around 2 years and I have given plenty of speeches, but even then, from her coverage of how to write a speech, I have taken away something. It was really nice, very well covered. And I appreciate that how you have given example of your own speech to explain it to us. It made it very, very easy for us to understand that how it is important to have a good beginning and how to start writing a speech, because every time I do start writing a speech, I do get something like how to start, where to start from, and all those things. And I'm sure being a new club, most of you are new members to Toastmasters, and it must have really helped you all. A very well session by Toastmaster Victoria, and I appreciate you people for including her in the meeting. The table topic session by Toastmaster Shivani was very well conducted, interesting. I liked the way you have picked up the topics, just short topics, and it gives us time to think about it, that what to speak. And it was a very general approach to the Toastmaster, to the table topics. My evaluators have done their job extremely well. They have followed the method of CRC, which is commenting, then recommending, then commending. And with this, I come to my portion of recommending. So few areas, if you people could work on, it will be very good, because it will improve the quality of meetings and it will make them more interesting, so to say. Now, the word of the day, maybe it was because of the confusion of the grammarian. I would like to suggest to pronounce it correctly and use it a couple of times in sentences so that it becomes easier for the speakers to include that. It was pronounced wrong. The correct pronunciation for the word of the day was eclectic. Now, minor role players, although you have covered, you have introduced your roles very well, you have given your reports extremely well. It is always interesting if we could combine it with the theme of the meeting. So like the timer of the day, tried to connect it to the theme of crime and cops. Rest also, if you could just connect it to the theme of the meeting, it makes it more interesting. That is the only thing. For the table topic master, I have a small suggestion that you try to give the techniques of speaking in table topics, which occupied a lot of time. We as it is have fixed agenda, we have fixed times. You had 15 minutes to run your session. So during table topic session, the criteria should be to make more people speak rather than the table topics master speak less. So these techniques can be shared, otherwise it's not necessary to share it at that time. So these were the minor things which I felt I should point out, and it will surely help you people in future. Rest, time and the connection problems and all those things we can really not fight in present circumstances. So overall, it was extremely enjoyable meeting for me. I am happy to be a part of it. And if I have given some feedback which you all can take as constructive feedback, I'll be very glad. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Abrar.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Neeru. Your report was quite insightful, and I am sure it will help us improve. This was some qualities from our speech officers and our chief officer, and taken some valuable feedback. I would now like to hand over this meeting to our president, Toastmaster Anthony Gomes.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Abrar. We have had a wonderful meeting. Before we go ahead, I will be conducting the polls for the roles that we have had today. They were supposed to be held at different stages during the meeting, but due to, in order to not disturb the flow of the meeting, we're having them at the end. So first, we will be having the voting for the best table topic speaker, and I'm launching the poll now. Please.
Have they all qualified?
Yes, yes, all have qualified. That's what Timer had mentioned. So please vote for the best table topic speaker. It's up on your screen. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Now I will be conducting the poll for the best speech evaluator, which was Toastmaster Minal Bali and Toastmaster Clyde. There you go. The poll has been launched. Please vote for the best speech evaluator. Well, thank you. And finally, I'm launching the poll for the best major and minor role players. These are two categories. So there you go. Please vote for the best major and minor. This is the last poll, so please go ahead and vote, please. Well, okay. Thank you so much. Now that we have gathered the results of the poll, yes, I would request our VP member PR, Toastmaster Meenal, if you could quickly speak to the guest and maybe take a quick feedback until I put a couple of things in place.
Thank you, President. Can we have some of our guests maybe give us a shout out? First of all, how do you guys enjoy the meeting today? Can I see some faces? I mean, it'd be really nice. We can see some faces. Yeah. Okay. Did you guys enjoy? Vishal, not you, the guests. Okay. Can we have some of our guests give us a quick line of feedback? Can we start with Keith?
Yeah, thank you, Minal. So it's, it's a wonderful meeting, and if I'm not mistaken, it's a new club, right? I remember reading on the paper. So that makes it, I think, even more amazing. It's what, last month it started. Just one question. I was curious to understand, maybe it was because of my net issues, but at the end of each speech, you all had sort of a 1 minute break. Is that for any particular reason?
So what happens is when we have the meetings physically offline, we have like a barrier system wherein we give each member attending or each individual attending gives the speaker their feedback of how they found the meeting, how they found their speech, or what is it that they would like to recommend. Since we're doing it offline, that 1 minute is so that everybody can send them a personal message on their chat. It helps the speaker improve at the end of the day.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
like I said,
so
great meeting.
Can we have someone else?
Pratibha messaged me.
Yeah, Pratibha, no problem. Maybe you not switch on your camera, but can you quickly give us a shout out?
Hi, yes, sure, Meenal. So today I was very skeptical about joining, but thankfully I was able to join and get to hear the speeches. Yes.
How do you like the session? I mean, did you like coming to ASCO?
Of course I do. And my personal evaluator is also here. So yes, I'm glad to see his face as well.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Can we have guest Varish?
Yeah, hello, madam. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to say something about this. I really enjoyed today's session where there were so many people. I learned so many words. Now, one of the words I'm going to use in my lifetime is the eclectic. The last week I learned about the word ebullient. So I'm just trying to use this word in my day-to-day speeches, which also creates a very good impression on the other person, or he thinks like this fellow is, into certain words. That gives the power of the words to me.
Varish, have you joined the club yet?
Actually, just once in my lifetime, I'd gone to 2018. That the year I'd gone to YMCA club in Panjim.
Okay.
It wasn't YMCA. So I look forward.
Please do come to Vasco. We'll teach you loads of new and nice and pretty and awesome words. We have like a vocabulary of words that we can teach you. Please do join Vasco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Anthony, are we good to go?
Yes. Thank you, everybody. And now it's time for to give out the awards of the roles that we have had. And to give out the awards, I would request a division director, Toastmaster Siona, to please take over and present the awards. Toastmasters.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. And so it's now time for the awards. What are we awarding? Which one first? I'm sorry. Okay, the Best Speaker Award
Yeah. Hello?
goes to
Yes.
Anthony Go. Please put your hands together for Anthony.
Thank you.
The Speech Evaluator. The Best Speech Evaluator from between Meenal and Clyde goes to Meenal Bali. Please put your hands together for Meenal. And the table topic speaker. The best table topic speaker. Toastmaster Snigdha.
Yay.
And the major role player, best major role player, to Toastmaster Abrar.
Yay.
Yes.
There is a tie here because we have another one.
All right. Wow. And Toastmaster Neeru. I can't hear any noise. Please unmute yourself and make some noise, please.
Yay.
Yes, that's good.
Congratulations.
And the minor role player, the best minor role player goes to Toastmaster Clifford.
Yay.
Yeah, he's.
Yes.
So yes,
Thank
thank you. Thank you, Division Director.
you.
And congratulations to all the winners. And I'm looking forward to having you join us to the next meeting. Before you leave, all the guests who couldn't speak or even the Toastmaster who are there, please leave a line of feedback in the chat. And do join us for our next meeting, which is on 2nd of October. So hoping to see you there. The meeting room will be open for some time. We can chat. But now I officially adjourn today's meeting.
Yay!
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Neeru, for giving